Here with head coach Danielle from Tennessee Tech. You're entering your second season. Uh, Coach, a little bit more time to build your team and work with them. Coming in very late last year, but now you've had the full season plus a full summer to recruit. How does this help coming into 2024 for you?
It certainly did help. We needed to fill some gaps and certainly add some depth in several areas. So having almost a full year under my belt definitely helped. I still feel we were a little rushed to fill some needed spots, but we did bring in a really solid group of 10 newcomers, 5 transfers and 5 freshmen. And, so we're definitely looking forward to what their impact will be, as well as the growth of the returners. I mean, we had a pretty young team last year. Certainly we had some impact players and some seniors we left, but we had a lot of young kids who were asked to play really critical roles, and the experience certainly did help them. I mean, and it was experience in a lot of ways, certainly collegiate experience, but also, experiencing challenges. I think in our sport, when we experience failure at the rate we do in softball. Learning to overcome challenges is a huge part, and I think that really helped them as well. So I'm really looking forward to not only the impact of the new kids we brought in, but certainly the growth of the returners we have coming back.
Okay. Um, what is the outlook of the team this season? And what's what do you like most about them? What's the biggest strength there?
Wow, that's a tough one. We do have such a new group of student athletes combined with a lot of young returners, and um, one of the things I guess I like the best is the resiliency and I guess the utility nature of what we have. I like that we have players that can play multiple positions at a competitive Division 1 level. I like that we have players that are gritty and battling it out. It's just hard to predict because we have so many newcomers and it really strengths in a lot of different areas. Certainly holes like every other team, but I think the resiliency is one of my favorite aspects. They're just a hardworking group of kids that want to win and want to grow together. It's a great place to be right now.
So, what is kind of the mindset of being able to build this team and get it to where you would like to? And obviously, it doesn't just happen today or tomorrow, but we're
Right.
talking like the end of the season and even building into the future.
I think the mindset that we all have is probably process based. I think to have a mindset of focusing on the process really is where every coach wants their team to be. So that's what we focused on, is the process, and then just instilling the aspects of the game that we want them to focus on. We talk about hitting, we talk about approaches. Not everybody does approaches, and to have someone come in and learn how to do approaches and be able to commit to those approaches, that's tough. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. And having a freshman be able to stick with an approach to hunt a certain type of pitch that even seniors struggle with. She may not execute like she'd want to, but she's on time with it. And so we celebrate those small milestones because that's a big deal. We celebrate the milestones of a junior transfer learning a new pitch that she had struggled with. It may not hit that exact same spot every time, but we focus on that process. And then we just believe in the idea that if you do enough with the process, the outcome eventually starts to follow. And I guess that's the best way we're looking at it, because we did have a struggle, last year. And if we're just outcome oriented, if we were outcome oriented last year, we wouldn't have improved. And our first half and our second half were dramatically different statistically. And even, if you watched us, we were a far better team the second half. And I think that mindset of being process oriented and getting 1% better every day, I think that's whether I'm 48-4 or 4-40, that's the process that I believe in. So.
Okay. You talked a little bit about the grouping you have with the newcomers and some of your returning players. What's it like getting someone like Mackenzie Fitzgerald back? After missing the whole season, and I'm sure she's eager to get back onto the field herself.
It's great. We last year, certainly coming in after the semester started. And then, we had several starters out for a period of time last year. That was not easy. And I really didn't get an opportunity to see, Mackenzie Fitzgerald's level of play really probably until this fall, as she, recovered and rehabbed and so forth. And even now she hasn't seen, she's seen live pitching, with the exception of her own pitchers 4 times, in 2 years. And, she's definitely a dynamic athlete though. She's definitely just a born natural leader. She's a great player, and, we definitely expect a lot of things from her. She's not the only one. We've had a few players really grow into their skin as far as softball, and just they look like they can be dynamic players, and so we're definitely excited about that, and excited about what Mackenzie can do, offensively, on the base path, defensively. She's a dynamic player for sure.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about your playing surface is new and some of the improvements they've made in your complex.
Yes, we are really excited about that. We've only been on the field 3 times since it was only released about a week and a half ago. And, you guys know the weather we've been having. So we have spent a majority of the time inside, which is unusual. We don't usually get this kind of weather, but even yesterday on the field, for the first time doing infield outfield yesterday, we're learning how it plays when it's dry versus when it's wet. We had to, take some breaks to talk to the infield about adjusting where they're standing based on what they're seeing and experiencing. And it's a fun place to be though. When you get to stop and talk about, how to adjust a little bit because your brand new, beautiful playing surface is just a little bit different than what you had before, it's a good place to be. There's still some supplementary renovations that are happening as far as in the perimeter and things like that, but it's really exciting. I mean, we were hitting fly balls. They were putting up the padding in the outfield fence. So, when they're in right field, we're hitting fly balls to left and center. When they get to center, we hit them to right and left. And we were excited to do it though. It's great. We're super happy about the upgrades and what that can mean, not only this year, but really for the future of the program.
Well, Coach, we definitely appreciate your time, and we wish you the best of luck for this season.
Thank you very much, Jose. I really appreciate it.